As war erupts in Europe, America is reluctant to get involved, but gradually starts supplying the Allies with war materials. Hold on. Lila, I feel like I've said this before. This feels like deja vu. This is weird. We prefer neutrality, but gradually we begin to offer support to the Allies. Huh. Coincidence? Or is this just history repeating itself? So in this presentation, we'll be talking about America entering the war. That is World War II. Information in this presentation can be found in Chapter 19, Section 3 of your Orange textbook. We'll be dealing with Goal 10, Objective 1, elaborate on the causes of World War II and the reasons for U.S. intervention, and also Objective 2, identify military, political, and diplomatic turning points of the war and determine their significance to the outcome and aftermath of the conflict. The essential questions we'll answer are: how was the United States involved in the war prior to 1941? What were the circumstances that led to the U.S. intervention in World War II? And how did the United States react to the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor? Unlike World War I, the U.S. saw the handwriting on the wall and began to prepare for war. We saw the Axis powers forming, the grouping or alliances formed between Germany, Italy, and Japan, and we began a cash and carry policy to the Allies. And basically what this was is we supplied the Allies with war materials if they would pay us cash and agree to carry them off in their own ships. We also began the selective service, and this was a peacetime draft because we hadn't gone to war yet, but it was a draft nevertheless to get the military ready. We also began a lend and lease policy with some of the Allies to help supply them with weapons. So because of cash and carry and lend and lease, we become known as the arsenal of democracy. In 1941, Roosevelt was elected to his third term as president. In his inauguration, he gave the Four Freedoms speech, which said, essentially, we should have, as Americans, freedom from want, the freedom to worship as we wish, the freedom of speech, and the freedom from fear. He also signed the Atlantic Charter with Britain, and this was similar to Wilson's 14 points, and expressed some acknowledgement that war was certain. So he's foreshadowing or predicting U.S. involvement in war. Meanwhile, the situation abroad had worsened. Japan had brutally attacked China. Hitler had taken the rest of Czechoslovakia. And Britain and France vowed to protect Poland from Germany, but Hitler invades Poland and then continues east, taking Denmark and Norway. Then Hitler turns his attention west, taking the Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. He goes on to take France and then moves towards Britain. This was Hitler's mistake. The Battle of Britain stalls because the Royal Air Force of Britain is able to hold off Germany. Britain has an advantage because it's an island, and really the only way the Germans can get there is through aircraft. So the Royal Air Force is very prestigious, and they're able to protect Britain from Germany's air attacks. In June 1941, Germany attacks Russia, breaking the Nazi-Soviet pact. What had happened was, when Germany attacked Poland, they had an agreement with Russia, a non-aggression pact, which meant that they would leave each other alone. This allowed Germany to go ahead and attack Poland without worrying about Russia. Now Germany has basically turned on Russia and has broken the Nazi-Soviet pact and attacked Russia. This is because Russia wanted to expand, and they were a direct threat to Germany. So Germany went ahead and moved on to take down Russia as well. He has early success against Russia, but then gets stalled out by the Russian winter. Now he has war on two fronts. Hitler is fighting against the Russians on the Eastern Front and the Brits on the Western Front. So now Germany is taking on Russia and Great Britain and France. And in the next video, we'll find out the next ally to get involved.